Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pretenders or Contenders podcast show. I'm your host, Coach Devon Powell, Law High School head football coach. And my co-host tonight, as always, is Midnight Rider. How's it going, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, another day, another dollar, they say. I don't know if I made $1 today, but I might have made 10 cents.
Hey, it's better than starting the day with a zero and ending with a zero.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's kind of a sad day, man. I know we don't talk a lot of pro stuff on the show, but
Oh,
that was a sad game yesterday. That's one of those games, man, where I got my W on today. I still wear my colors, but I don't know what in the hell they was doing out on that field yesterday.
it got ugly and it got ugly quick. I mean, the 4-play drive to go 73 yards in less than 35 seconds, that opened the door, and then they came back with another stop.
Yeah,
And
you
I think
talking
they
about
had
right
the
before
interception
halftime.
return. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I know we was down some people or whatever. Defensive wise, I mean, Cowboys got a great offense. Um, as much as I hate them, realistically, the football fan in me knows that they got the best offense in the NFL. They can score quick. Got a lot of weapons. You got two number one receivers on the team,
Yep.
and CD and what's the boy name?
Oh, Pickens.
Pickens. Yeah. So they got options there. Ferguson is a good option to tight end. And Javonte Williams has found his stride with this team.
Well,
So
when you tear your patella tendon, it's supposed to take you like 2 years to come back, and this is, I think, the second year after he had the surgery. So
yeah,
that's
you're
why,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot about that injury, but yeah. So they got a good offense, man. But I thought even without the receivers out there, I thought we'd be able to run the ball a little bit better. And we couldn't. Um, what's his name? Lil Bill struggled. And he didn't really have any running lanes, to be honest. It seemed like Dallas sat on the run, played
Yep.
man behind it, and dared us to take shots, and we just couldn't figure it out yesterday.
Yeah, that's one of those games. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago where you take that film, you just go ahead and throw it in the trash can because you ain't getting nothing good is on that film. You may watch it one time just so everybody can see what they did because the camera in the sky don't lie, and then
You're
let's
right.
be done with it.
Yeah, you're right about that. You throw that film away, and while they're throwing that away, they need to throw number two away as well. Need to put him out with the recycling. Now, don't even put him out with recycling. He got to go straight trash because he has been horrible.
hmm
Um, and I don't know why we continue to leave him 1-on-1 with anybody with no safety help over top because he's just horrible. I don't know. I don't know what Joe Witt is doing. Um, I can't put it all on him because players got to make plays once they're out on the field. But it's like we got to go back to the drawing board because this don't look like no playoff team right now.
It's a bunch of can't get rights.
Yep, a bunch of can't get right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Quick comment. The boss, they say even fellas, what's going on, boss?
Yo, you gotta get with Boss. He been doing some ads lately. I don't know if he did one for you tonight or not. Um, but yeah, like we've been hitting the AI thing a little hard this weekend. So
Yeah, he had reached out to me for the schedule for the night, but I was on the practice field, so I didn't get it to him till late. So I don't know if he was able to do something or not. But yeah, he been on this thing, man. Y'all all been on y'all thing with this media thing. Yeah, that ain't my strong point. So I'll leave that to y'all.
now that's why I do it because all it takes is for me to have a moment, and I'll just start doing stuff, and our
Right.
ideas will pop. Like I don't know if you saw it. We got a new show coming up soon
Uh-huh.
called Apologetic Sports, and yeah, I think we put out 3. of their logos. I think I got a
Mm-hmm.
fourth one somewhere. You know, I'm inspired. You know, I'm trying to be the Coach Drip of the podcast world.
There you go. There you go. You know, Coach Drip got everything else on lock, but yeah, you can get the coach. You can be the Coach Drip of the podcast world.
Yeah,
Coach, I see you there. I'm gonna add you in a minute, buddy. Um, so yeah, moving on from the Redskin game, that debacle yesterday. I mean, the Commanders, as everybody else calls them. I still call them Redskins. Um, going into I recap from week 7 in PG County. I thought I get the score scrolling down there at the bottom. I'll recap our game over at the in the world of the 300. We went to Bladensburg on Saturday for their homecoming, and I got to talk to Jack about this, man, because I, I don't like to talk about my PG County schools,
mm-hmm.
but that was one of the saddest displays of a homecoming I've ever seen in a long time, man. So I'm gonna have to talk to Jack because they're gonna have to they got to get some things fixed over there. Um, we show up there at we got there about 12:30, 12:40. Stadium ain't even unlocked yet. The
Mm-hmm.
AD, I know the AD. She's a great lady. I know her from when she played basketball. She was a good hell of a basketball player. She comes and lets us in, and she said they just finished their parade up, so they was getting settled down from that. But Bladensburg didn't come out to warm up. Game kicks off at 2:00. They didn't come out on the field till 1:54.
Mm.
They only got 15 players. They come out there at 1:54. Referees are trying to do the coin toss, and they're still out on the field trying to get warmed up. Again, it's homecoming game at that point, and the stands probably got 6 people in the stands at kickoff. And like you didn't even get that sense of a homecoming atmosphere. Um, and it was just a sad display, man. It upsets me to see, our PG County school look like that. We take pride on our schools. We got all of our schools got deep alumni that
Right.
strong history in our schools and our programs, man. And just to see that was just disheartening. Now the crowd did pick up later. I know at halftime I looked up and paid attention to the crowd. It might have been 100 people in the stands or whatever. I think we had more fans on our side than what they had in their bleachers. Um, so just like no pomp and circumstance to it, man. It was just it was bad. It was bad. Um, we got our homecoming coming up this week, so we're gonna show them how it's done. Um, but okay, getting back to the game. So final score was 55-0. That was my little rant about the display, man. I'm real big on atmospheres when it comes to football.
Nah,
Um,
but Jack had been saying all along that there's been some infighting with the alumni on doing things and getting things done around there. So that's probably what you saw was the aftermath of two groups fighting and probably alienating each other and not having the kids' best interest in mind.
right, and it was just bad, man. And before I move on, let me see. KG says the James Brown of podcasting. Yep, that's the Midnight Rider for you. Coach Morgan said ain't give us no feeling of a homecoming. And this was the worst part about it. Referees set the field up.
Mm,
How are the referees setting the field up, putting the yard markers and stuff down? Like, come on, man.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, we got to do better than that, man. And okay, so getting back to the game because I got my man Coach Drip coming on here. And I know he got to get to his show later on tonight too. Um, the game, of course, was over before it started. They come out, they only got 15 players. Um, I feel bad for coach over there, man, because he's a first year coach, and he took on this job, and it's a tough situation over there. That and High Point are very tough situations to try to build programs in, and we were basically able to do whatever we wanted to do. It was one of those type of games. Um, I was able to get a lot of players in that typically don't get to play that much. And basically we was able to do what we wanted to do. Halftime, the score was 29-0. We came out second half, uh, and we got to a running clock, and that basically was it, man. It really ain't too much to discuss about it. I'm gonna try something new, Midnight Rider. So I've been trying to play around with this media thing, man. So I had my players send me one clip. I'm gonna see if I can play it and if it show up on here. Okay. So this was one of my guys, one of my cornerbacks, just Lane Sogbo. He's a senior DB, 4-year guy in the program, and this was his first high school touchdown. So let's see if we can get this up there. He returned a fumble for us. All right, so that did play well. All right. Let's see, that was me playing around with the media there.
You good.
All right. So yeah, that was just Lane Sogbo, number 2, starting DB for us, man. That's our coach Drip of the program. He might get out there and give up a couple touchdowns, but he gonna look good doing it though. Coach Drip, he got every combination. Hey, he ready to go. Anytime he suited up, trust me, he out there ready to go, man. So
he a DB, man. What else do you expect?
Yeah, he a DB, man. He a DB. So that was us. Like I said, it wasn't much to talk about game wise, man. Scoring was easy. We got touchdowns from our number 1 receiver, Kareem Oyekin again. And I think that's maybe his 4th touchdown of the year. And he's up there in the top 5 in the 4A in receiving. My number 2 receiver, Kenneth Cosma Sr., he scored again. He's the one that took the 80-yarder against Duval on that screenplay. You might have seen that online last week. Andre Stokes, running back. He had another score this week. He's been picking up lately. Who else? Just Lang, we saw his fumble recovery. Another one of my receivers, part of the Flight Club, Josiah Reagan. We call him Meach. Number 6, he caught a pass for a touchdown this weekend. And Deontay Mack, one of our backup running backs, he scored this week, number 15. So, it was a variety of players got involved. It was just just one of those games where we did what we were supposed to do. We were good. We were better than them, and we just showed it from the start. I mean, my senior DN, I think he had Jabrilla Bangura. I think he had number 22. I think he had 3 sacks on the day. Andre Stokes had a couple of plays. I think the first 2 drives, I think Andre Stokes made every play on the field on the defensive side. So it was just a good day. Recapping, I'll go ahead and recap the other scores in the county from the weekend. We had a lot of lopsided scores this weekend, but we'll go ahead and go through them real quick. Like I said, we defeated Bladensburg 55-0. Flowers High School defeated Oxon Hill 35-0. That was a big win after the week of controversy that they had. Wise defeated Potomac 35-0. Suitland defeated Duval 47-0. Parkdale got a win against Northwestern 18-6. Roosevelt defeated Bowie 47-0. Gwynn Park defeated Crossland 21-3. Douglas had a big win 62-0 over Friendly. Fairmont beat Surrattsville 20-2. And then Largo had a big win over Central last week, 62-28. I think that was their homecoming at Largo as well. So a lot of lopsided matchups this week. Um, that Roosevelt Bowie game was intriguing to me because those are our next two opponents. Roosevelt this week for homecoming, and then Bowie next week for senior night. So,
Okay.
all right, a couple
Um,
of comments. Oh, go ahead. Say what you gonna say
I was gonna ask. I saw a kid taken off the field this weekend.
for Potomac.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the quarterback, number 5. Yeah, he got taken off the field with they thought it was a head injury, but speaking to their coach, one of their coaches down there, he's good to go. He's all right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
scary moment at the time, but he's all right. Nothing major. All right, so a couple comments before we move on. Where we at? The boss says they alienated a lot of the alumni. Talking about Bladensburg and what's going on with that situation there. Salad Junkies. Is this Jack right here?
Nah, that's KG.
Oh, it's KG. Yeah, BJ is right. All right, the boss coach, you hear the media after that clip. Now you don't want to put me in charge of that. Nah, I'm the captain of the asshole committee. That's where you put me at. Don't put me in charge of the media. Coach Jackson say, "Nah, I'm Coach Drip." And look, Coach Drip said, "Don't try to defame his name, man. You ain't got no drip over there." Coach Mook, Flight Club. That's the president of the Flight Club right there. Coach Mook also says everybody eats.
There you go.
Yeah. Our super parent, Natasha Curtis. I said, let's go 300. I call him our super parent. You know, her son graduated. He was on our state championship basketball team, but she's still a super parent.
That's what's up. I love that.
Yeah. That boy was in the backfield every snap talking about Andre Stokes. And then Coach Mook said a lot of belts handed out this past weekend. You're right about that. Right about that. So since I got a coach in the saddle in the waiting area, I'm gonna bring him in, and we'll talk about Montgomery County here. Coach Drip, what's going on, my guy?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Glad to be here again. What's up with y'all, man?
Good, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, man, I see you got a wrestling podcast on here too.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
man.
we got the guys do it's called the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. They air at 9 p.m. You want to jump in? Let me know, man. I
You
know some
got,
people.
you got to holler at me, DM me because I got a wrestling podcast on my network too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what's up.
yeah, we do it
Hey,
all there at 613. So,
we the same way over here, Coach Drip.
and I'm already
Sideline
there.
junkies, man. They got something for everything, man. I'm
I'm
telling
there.
you. Look, you can find out about high school sports, any of the pro sports, wrestling, and where to find the best goddamn sandwich at. I'm telling you, you're gonna get it all in one show.
That sound like us. Yeah, that's what's
hey,
up.
hey, and then Saturday, what you got Saturday morning, Midnight Rod? Tell them about the
It's the
greatest.
it's
Tell
the
them about the show
greatest. It's the greatest fictitious college football show in the world. Craig.
in the
So the
world. Yeah.
guys in our group, they play college football 26. So we do a show based off of the stats, and we even do coaches interviews and all that stuff. So this week, one of the guys just came back, actually KG. So we're gonna interview him on Saturday morning at 11:30. Welcome him back to the league because he didn't play 26 when everybody transitioned over. So yeah, man.
That's the video game we talking about, right?
Yeah.
So we got two series on our network too. We got Maryland, we got Maryland Tech, and we got Montgomery U.
Okay.
Where, yeah, well, we just like you said, fictitious. The Montgomery U uses old school Montgomery County players, and Maryland Tech uses the seniors from the previous season. So
That's what's up, man.
yeah,
That's definitely what's up.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on, Coach Drip, man? Man, we heading into we getting closer and closer to playoffs, man. So, we've been doing a lot of collaboration the last couple of weeks between, this show and your show, man. And I think it's just a good thing for you to come in, man, and talk about you can talk about Almo County that you want, but I'm more concerned about the 4A North. The teams I got to see. So, um, just talk about the week in Mo County this week, man.
So, hey man, I'll start off with the 4A North. Our game of the week this week was Springbrook versus Blair. Just to put a precursor out there for everybody out there. When we pick it, we knew our schedules, I want to say maybe February. And the way I did it was, well, the way we do it is we pick the schedule beforehand based on either storylines, based on historical games, based on different things. I don't flex games. So when you see Blair Springbrook, people might think, why you go to that game? Well, I've had that game circled. Blair and Springbrook used to be a rivalry back in the day. So I had that game circled. Your boy, Nasty Nate, he went off. He went off. He went off for 3 touchdowns, 3 long touchdowns. I think one was 61, one was 37, and I believe one was 52. He went off. Yeah, shouts out to Nate Watkins. Another key point from that game was Jaden Parker from Blair High School went over 1,000 yards receiving for his career. That was pretty dope to watch and get to see in person. Blair handled them 42-20. The 20 comes from Blair putting in some JV guys, some third stringers, fourth stringers, and you know how that go. Run and score, things of that nature. What else in the Mo? What 4A North? Oh, here's one.
Yeah, please talk about the big one because this one had me pissed off all weekend long. So please talk about that one.
Oh, Blake at BCC.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think you know Coach Sam, right?
Yeah.
When I told him, he was pissed off too. So I feel your pain. Like literally, I told him right after the Blair game, he's happy, yada yada yada. And then he saw my face. He was like, "You're joking." I'm like, "Nah, BCC beat him." And I got to watch that game on Saturday. Um, man,
So before you talk about it, so we had a Friday night off. So me, Coach Mark, and two of our other coaches, we went over. I live right down the street from Meade, right? And
okay,
my boy Coach Tenardo is the coach over there. So I go show him love whenever I can. So we go up there to watch. And one of our other JV coaches is in the JV group chat. He's at BCC and Blake game, and he's sending updates. When I saw the update come through, I immediately got mad. Like I got upset, and I went to NFHS and cut the game on right away.
yeah, I think that's what everybody did, Coach. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anybody believed that the score was what the score was going to be. But that showed you two things. It shows you one, is Blake as good as everyone says they are? And two, BCC is a lot better than people thought they were. Because, I mean, I know you watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't seem like a minute in that game that they weren't going to, like, they didn't have control over that game.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I cut it on, like you could clearly see that Blake was not Blake, and I've been telling you that for like the last week or so.
Yeah.
That I didn't think, and then it's no disrespect to Blake. I ain't got nothing against him, but just being a football guy and watching them, they don't seem like the same Blake. And
go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, I was just saying, and you can just tell it's a different year this year.
I'll say this as well. From you guys putting me onto the point system and how it goes, Blake, because of the flower situation, Blake was in the best position that all they had to do was win out, and they could have been that 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And now they got Pay Branch this week.
Right.
Yeah, that's if you couldn't stop BCC's run.
Right. What are you going to do against Elijah Ba? What you going to do?
The words right out of my mouth. I mean,
what are you going to do?
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I don't want to not, give the proper props to BCC's running back, Gabe Eisler. He's a dog. I will give you that. Like, if you put him on any other team, he will probably be doing the same thing he's doing because he's a dog. But he ain't Elijah Ba.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Coach Mook said, "What's his name, Coach? What's his name?"
hey, listen. I love. I had to fight myself this weekend not to put him on the top five, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to put him on there, but I had some other plays that speaking of which, some other games that were notable. The Thursday games, I'm gonna be honest with you, coach. Do you guys play Thursday games?
No, we don't play Thursday. The Thursdays is usually a JV night.
Okay, so y'all play either Friday or Saturday.
Right.
Man, I'm telling you, you're lucky, man. Them Thursday games, boy, um, they either are really good or they're really bad. So Walter Johnson got whooped by Northwest 60-41.
Mm-hmm.
Clarksburg took a big L 42-0 to QO. Sherwood beat Wooten 35-0. Wheaton beat Northwood 38-0. Poolsville won 30-8. So again, those Thursday games, if you look at those scores, it's like them kids mailing in and saying, I got class tomorrow. Um,
Mm-hmm. Right.
so uh in the Mo, I mean, right now the playoff picture is because when I look at the Maryland State one, it doesn't reflect the Flower situation. So I don't know what's going on really. Um,
Yeah, we should when they redo the points and standings when it comes out tomorrow. We're hoping that it's going to reflect what's happening, um, because that has impact on a lot of schools. It's going to impact us at law as well as far as bonus points that we may gain. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. It should be updated tomorrow, but we'll find out when it comes
where do
out.
you guys stand right now?
So right now we're still like record wise, we're still tied with Blake. I mean BCC at
Okay.
4-3. So we're battling for that fourth and fifth spot. But with that win, I mean, Coach Marcus will tell you like that was a 13-point win for them because they got the 8 points for beating Blake, and then they get a bonus point for every win that Blake had. Blake was 5-1 at that point. So
Mm.
now that's 13 points that they get, and it just it hurts us. I ain't gonna lie about it. I had that marked down as a loss for BCC.
I think everybody did.
I had that as a loss for BCC, and then I think their last two games, I think they got Northwest
Who?
and
Blake?
BCC.
BCC, I got you. BCC has, give me 1 second. BCC has um, Springbrook and Whitman. So they
Yeah,
can't get any more points, bonus
yeah,
points.
yeah. They won't get any swing, but they won't lose any games. They should win both of those games.
They
Um,
should, they should, they should.
So yeah, so we was counting on that Blake loss. Coach Vic, if you're out there listening, you let me down, Vic. You let me down, Vic. Um, yeah, we was counting on that being a loss for BCC. So now, as far as us, we can finish 6-3 and still have to go on the road for the playoffs. That's a
Ooh.
possibility.
And it also depends on, I mean, listen, everybody calls me a homer in the Mo. They know where I love and where I went. But I keep trying to tell y'all, Blair's gonna be a tough out. Blair's gonna be a tough out. And but I'm not saying we're going to states. I'm not saying that at all. But it's gonna be a tough out at Blair because on the PG side of things, it looks like you guys, well, other than Laurel, it looks like your 4A teams are going to cancel each other out if
Mm-hmm.
the Flowers thing happens, because potentially what it looks like is Flowers and Wise could play each other in the second round. So, and
Yeah,
then the
that's
next
possible.
round, one
Yep.
of them may have to play QO. So they may cancel each other out, other than Laurel. So on the Moco side, I mean, of course we know QO is QO. That Churchill Blake game is a big one. Last game of the season, Churchill Blake game is a big one because it
Mm-hmm.
could really, I mean, that could be the second seed in states. And for those that don't understand what the second seed in states means, you get to avoid QO, and it's probably an easier path if you get the
Mm.
2 seed.
Right. And so now things become interesting because if by Blake losing to BCC, and they should lose the Paint Branch next week. All right, so that will put them at 5-3, and then they lose to Churchill. Now Blake is 5-4, and we might be able to get them. We're 6-3.
Well,
We might
Blake got Walter Johnson last.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
K Branch got Churchill last.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. I thought Blake had. I mean, yeah, I thought Blake had Churchill.
See, Blake was in the best position because, like I said, their last 3 games were all points games.
Mm-hmm.
They had BCC, they got Payne Branch, and they got Walter Johnson with all 4A teams. They would have got a tremendous amount of points. And if they would have won all 3 games, they would have got that number 2 seed. So then by them losing, like you just said, them falling back. You said what? You said 5-3? I mean 6-3?
They're 5-2 right now. Yeah, we can finish 6-3.
And they can finish 6-3.
And they can finish 6-3. Yep.
I got them losing to Payne Branch. I think we all do.
Yeah,
but then again, we all said they was going to beat BCC.
You're right.
I got them beating Walter Johnson because Walter Johnson is one of those teams that I don't know what's going on over there. I have no clue what's going on over there. I love their coaching staff and everything that they do at Walter Johnson. They got some good kids. Jake Fulberger, I mean, he's a dog. But we had some high hopes.
Right now. They can't run the ball.
You said they can't run the ball?
Yeah, they can't run the ball right now.
I know. I mean, they haven't really been able to run the ball since they played QO.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about after QO, before QO and after QO. They're the only team that really hasn't bounced back since the QO game. Everybody else, when they play QO, they bounce back. Of course, Elijah Ba right now is in. I don't think he's going to catch him with the kid from Guilford Park for most touchdowns, but I think that Elijah is going to make his business against Blake. If you did know, he wasn't really supposed to play much against Whitman, but again, I don't understand these kids nowadays. They made jokes and stuff and said he wasn't that good, and well, 4 touchdowns later,
right.
They found out. They're rolling. So it looks like in the 2 seed is either going to be. Hold on, y'all can still get the 2 seed, can't you? In the region?
No, not well. I mean, it's a lot of things. Yeah, we need help. We need help. So that whole Wheaton's year and that schedule that they got, that threw a wrench in it from the beginning. When they beat Blair, everybody was like, "Where the hell did Wheaton come from? Where these running backs come from?" And I know you say you've been talking about them for about 2 years now, but that was a surprise. Nobody expected Wheaton to be as good as they have played so far this year. And like you play who you get on the schedule. You ain't got no choice about that. And they've taken advantage of it. So they're definitely a surprise this year. And like I said, Blake coming up into the 4A this year from the 4A, 3A. So, Payne Branch is always solid. BCC is solid. And, it's just one of those things where you're gonna look at the top 5 in our region this year. Everybody should have a winning record in the top 5. And in the past, in our region, it hasn't been like that.
I think Blair has potential to still. That Northwest game is a toss-up. I don't know what's going to happen in that game. I'll be at that game as well. That game is a toss-up. As far as Wheaton goes, I'm a little. You're a coach, so you could probably tell me better than I can say it. But I don't really like that division they got. They're in. So they're in the 4A region, but they have a division in Montgomery County where the team, I guess the bad teams are in. I don't really like it because when it comes to playoffs, they haven't faced reality yet.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you this much though. I can't confirm this, but you jinxed yourself. BCC heard you. They heard you. They heard you these last week.
Oh, look. Hey, look. Watch me. Hey, let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah, you want to play
No,
Okay, bet.
let me tell you something about Coach D Drip. I say what I say, and I back up what I say. I don't I don't back down from nobody. Now, just because they beat Blake, that don't mean a damn thing to me, except for playoff seeding. So I still say the same thing. I
Yeah.
stamp what I said. Let's play.
Oh no,
Let's line up
I
and play.
want it to be I want it to
Yeah,
be I
let's
want it to be
line
that.
up and play. But now Blake can put a wrench into that. Goddamn Blake. I'm
I
still pissed off about that game.
nah listen, man. Everybody. I was at the Blair game. I told you what Coach Nassau said. Coach Urso looked at me like, "Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even drink." And he's looking at me like, "Are you lying?" And I'm like, "No, this is the score." And he was like, "Oh my goodness." I think everyone is
Oh,
affected by that.
so I don't my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Um, so I just went on to the MPSSA site, and it looked like they have updated the standings already.
Okay.
And right now, they have not taken any games away from Flowers.
That's what so somebody saw me that earlier.
Yeah, they're still 7-0. Duval, they have taken all of the games away from Duval, but not Flowers yet. So that's interesting. But the current standings for the 4A North, Paint Branch 6-1. You know, their only loss was the QO, of course. Blake 5-2, and Bethesda Chevy Chase is now in third place at 4-3, and it's only because of points. Wheaton is
Mm,
5-2 in fourth place right now, and then we're in fifth place at 4-3. Blair is in sixth at 3-4, and then Northwestern is 1-6. They got the forfeit win from Duval. They're in seventh place right now. So new standings. BCC has jumped over Wheaton, and this is where Wheaton's schedule is probably going to hurt them, um, because BCC jumped them because of the bonus points.
yeah. And they can't gain anymore. Wheaton can't gain anymore. They end up the end of the season with um Kennedy and Einstein, so they can't get any more bonus points. That's it for them.
Yeah, so I mean, there's the potential if we
I just
Northwestern and
pulled it
Duval
up
play this
myself.
week. Yeah, if we win out, then there's the potential that Wheaton could drop all the way down to fifth and be 7-2 because of points, and they would have to come to the 300.
And that's what I'm saying.
So
And that's what I'm
yeah.
saying, man. Like
These next 2 weeks are critical.
crazy.
I mean, well, we know they're critical, but yeah, the bonus points are going to come into play big time in our region.
And it looks like Paint Branch will have the bye. So that will be Blake versus Northwestern, Blair
Mm-hmm.
BCC, and then Wheaton Laurel.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
guys win out, you're gonna go over top of them. Period. Because
And
they don't got no
if we
bonus
if we
points.
went out, let's see where we at. They are 5 points ahead of us right now, total. I mean, win points. They got 5 more win points than us. Um, Cumulative points, they are 9 points above us. We win our next two games, we get 16 wins. I mean, 16 points off of that. And then the Roosevelt has
4 wins.
4 wins, so we'll get 4 points from there. And Bowie right now has 1 win, so we'll get a point there. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Yeah, these last 2 weeks are gonna be interesting.
I I still see, yeah, because they can't do anything. The fight is the 2 seed now, BCC and Blake. That's really the fight right now, because BCC, they have, like I said earlier, they have Springburg and Whitman, but they can't gain any points.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, they'll
Blake
get no
got
points
Paint
from
Branch and Walter
Springboard.
Johnson, and they can only gain points from the Walter Johnson game, really. But if
And
they
Walter
lose
Johnson
to
ain't got no points. I mean, they've only won one game, right?
who, Walter Johnson, yeah, they got 2 games. They got
Two
two, but
games. Yeah. So
either way, who does Walter Johnson play this week? Walter Johnson plays Whit. They play Whitman this
Whitman.
week.
Yeah, they play Whitman.
So
So okay. So now I ain't mean to cut you off, but now this is an interesting question.
yeah,
Wheaton has your boys from Kennedy this week.
yes.
So go ahead and preview that one because you've been talking about Kennedy all year long.
Well, from what I heard, the Kennedy game, Kennedy lost on Friday to Magruder, 15-12.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was some controversial calls by the refs in that game. I'm not gonna speak to it because I wasn't there. But from watching the game, there was one part in the game, and I wanted to ask another coach this. End of the game, I think it was like a minute and 25 seconds left. Kennedy takes the safety. Wouldn't you, as the coach, punt the ball off and make them go down the field?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You said Kennedy took a safety.
Yes, it was like a minute and some change left in the game. They're up.
Okay.
They're up to. I believe they're up 12-9.
Up 12-9, so they give up a safety. So now it's 12-11.
Yes.
Okay. So they take the safety now and they're punting, kicking off from the 20.
Uh-huh.
And what did they do?
Well, that's what they did. They did gave up the safety and they lost. They ended up losing the game.
Where was
Yeah,
the
so
where was
similar
that one?
situation last year. So in our game last year versus Duval, right? We were up late in the game. They were driving and they wound up fumbling on like the 2-yard line. Okay. So we got the ball. It was I know it was like maybe under 2 minutes or just above 2 minutes. So we fourth down, we backed up. So I tell my kicker, my punter, catch the ball, run out the back of the end zone, right? Take the safety. And I think at that point we would have been up. I can't remember, but we still would have been winning the game under 2 minutes left. And their offense, the offense had really not done too much against us. Like I wasn't scared of their offense. So we decided to do that. Well, my punter, he decides to run out the end zone instead of the back of the end zone and gets tackled on the 3-4 yard line. Yeah, we would have still been up by 5 points. So yeah, he gets tackled on like the 3-4 yard line. They get the ball and score. They score.
So
So
basically, Kennedy did what you wanted your punter to do.
gotcha. But they gave up a touchdown or a score after that. Like the
Exactly.
defense didn't stop them. Gotcha. Okay.
And I heard that there was a catch that wasn't a catch, that they said it wasn't a catch, and then they met for like 2 minutes, and then they said it was a catch. So
Wow.
I read somebody in your comments saying that Kennedy was finessed by the ref. So I don't know. I don't want to, say that because we've all agreed that the refs this year for some reason are just not as good as they've been in the past. But if you're Kennedy, you should have went in there and handled business anyway, and it shouldn't have been that close.
Right.
So to get back to your initial question, Kennedy and Wheaton is a toss-up, man. You would think Wheaton would go in there and they should dominate because of their running game, but Kennedy got them skill players that anytime they touch the ball, it could possibly be a house call. Mark Williams and a couple of their other players, it could potentially be a house call whenever they get the ball. So we'll see. For seeding purposes, I ain't gonna lie to you because I kind of wanted to see that BCC Laurel game. I'm kind of
Hey.
I'm kind of hoping Kennedy wins. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping Kennedy wins because I do. I love a good storyline, man. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan, so I love a good storyline. And you saying what you said about BCC, I'm not sure they've heard it yet or they've seen it yet, but I know their social media team is probably going to see that and use that as fuel to the fire, and you ain't backing down. So
yeah. Back
yeah,
down. What's that? I don't know nothing about no backing down.
yeah, that would be dope. I love to see that game.
Yeah, I take the 300 over everybody. I don't care who you are. That's what we do.
I don't want to see because right now, you like you said, it would be Blake versus Northwestern, BCC versus Blair. I kind of do want to see that again. I
Mm-hmm.
see you. This Blair team versus that BCC team. I would love to see that again. I just don't want it to be at BCC, but they ain't got no choice, really. Um, but Wheaton and Laurel might be the game of the region right now.
Yeah, the way things are looking now, that looks like that will be the matchup. Where it will be at will be determined in the next 2 weeks. But if things play out like they should on paper, then that'll probably be the matchup. But that's why we play the games, though. You got to line them up. And as we see, BCC and Blake on paper, Blake should have won that game, but we see how that turned out. So that, like I said, that threw a wrench in everything. Real quick, the comments is jumping, so let me get a couple. And then we just let you know we got a hard stop at 8 because we got another show on the network tonight.
I saw.
Yeah, the hardest working man in podcast world. He just keeps adding shows, and
they're like riders like me, man. That's how I do it. I don't even tell them when I'm adding the show. I just be like, hey, we got a new show. Here's the flyer.
Let's see, Coach.
Hey, man, we gotta keep running.
Right. Coach Mark said I need an age check on that running back number 44 from Wheaton.
I told you like the black Mike Allstott.
Coach Mook said, yeah, Coach standing on business. Hey, Mook, I don't know no other way. That's me. I'm gonna talk my trash. I'm gonna back it up until I leave this earth. Javon said the one win. I don't know what he talking. Oh, he might be talking about. I forgot who he was talking about. Northwestern Duval play this week. Coach Mark said Northwestern beat Bladensburg. Okay, that was their win. I thought they got a win from Duval. Coach Mark said when they come to 300, Coach Drip, you pulling up?
So that's going to be a decision because that was the plan to pull up to y'all playoff game against whoever y'all play against. If it ends up what it is right now, BCC versus Blair, Wheaton versus Laurel, I'm probably going to do a poll and see because, man, both of those games is where I want to be at. I ain't going to lie. I can't be in two places at one time. Well, technically I could because if it's at Wheaton, well, nah, I don't think I could.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one for you. Coach Mark said it all depends on the game flow. You're talking about, the decision to take the safety there to 2 points. And you're right. Let's see where we at. From what I understand, the clock should have ran out as the kid was tackled in bounds, but the refs gave them an extra play.
So I heard that too.
Kennedy Magruder game.
Yep.
Coach Mark said, and twice on Fridays. Yeah, that's me. The 300 all day versus anybody. Coach Mook, yeah, please turn me up. And then Jay says, Coach Rowe going to have his Wheaton varsity jacket on if that happens. No, we got one of our coaches who's a Wheaton grad. Our O-line coach is a Wheaton grad. So I'm sure.
Graduate?
He's 40 years old, so it'll be around that 2001, 2002, around that era, 2003.
Hey, Coach Rowe, don't wear that jacket. Y'all suck then. Don't wear that jacket. You better not wear that jacket if y'all play Laurel. You better not. Y'all suck back then.
Right. Midnight,
Hey,
you got any questions from a guy?
Yeah, I got two things real quick. First one is, do we have links that we can share with the people? I can throw them up on in the Pasture Seat and the Sideline Junkies podcast page. Y'all shoot me the links. I'll post them. Or Coach, I think you should have access or be able to post them as well. So if you post the links, we can kind of break it down. Here's the PG side or no counting side, however it goes. I just need a short explanation to go with it, and I'll post the links for sure.
Yeah, you talking about to the rankings and all that?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'll work on that. I'll work on that.
And I don't have a second thing. That was the two things.
Gotcha. Um, what's up, Coach Drip? Don't pay attention to my dog in the background. You got anything before we cut you loose, man, or preview what you talking about tonight on your show?
8:30, we on IG Live. We're gonna have special guests as we always do. We got our ranking show right now. If you don't know our rankings in Mo County, I'm just gonna run it down real quick for you. We got Blair at 12, Clarksburg at 11, Wheaton at 10, Richard Montgomery at number 9, Damascus at 8, BCC at 7, Northwest 6, Blake 5, Paint Branch 4, Churchill 3, Sherwood 2, Quince Orchard 1. If you love Coach Drip, I will be at 3 games this week. I'll be going to Thursday, Rockville, Richard Montgomery. Friday, I'll be at Churchill, Wooten. And then Saturday, I will be at Magruder and Gaithersburg. So thank y'all for the love, man. And next year, we're going to get this PG Mo County merger bigger and better than we got it this year. Not saying that it wasn't good this year, but I can tell Midnight Rider, Coach D, they're about excellence, so we're gonna push this thing to a whole nother level next year. And I use StreamYard too to do Moco Center.
So we good to go.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we need to go, man. Like I said, this collaboration been going good for the last couple of weeks, man, and it's been growing. And like I said, it's important because our region is just not all PG County schools, so we got to look at the other side of the brackets a lot, and it's good to get that insight on Montgomery County. And I'm sure Montgomery County think the same way. It's good to get the insight on PG County, man. So
Plus,
we
I like y'all,
appreciate you.
man. Y'all good people, man. So
Yeah, you cool people, man. And now I know, I've been paying attention to you more, man. So now I know you're part of the go-go world. I used to play in the band back in the day.
what band?
When we wasn't known, we wasn't big time. So
What was the name of the band?
hey, man, look, don't worry about all
If
that.
it was were the people in Laurel? Because I'm sure I know who you're talking about.
So we was in law, and we had a couple of names. So we called Young Exposure, and you probably know our drummer Chris, who big guy Chris. He was our drummer, and my cousin Swinton was our Congo player. But we'll have that conversation offline one day. But and you probably know my cousin Ray. Ray that plays with dang it. He plays Congos. I can't think of the name of the band right now, but he was just playing with Backyard down in Dallas this weekend.
Okay.
So Ray Nicholson, the Ray Nicholson.
Yeah,
That's my
I know you're talking about.
that's my cousin. So we'll have that conversation later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. And Coach Mook said, yeah, we need a New Visions reunion show, Coach.
Tell him we're gonna do another one in 2026, but he gotta make sure he say the name right. It's New Vision. We only got one vision.
Gotcha. All right,
Love y'all, man. I'm gone. Hey, also, I just want to say this one more thing because I know y'all gotta go. Hey, next year if we pull it off, 35.
At 35, what you get? What you buying donuts? Because that's all you got. You see, he always run. I told you, just like a Montgomery County person, man. Talk trash and then run away. All right, Midnight Rider, what you got going on, man? Give us your rundown for the rest of the week and tonight.
All right, so tonight, starting TBS time at 8:05, we got the Sideline Junkies NBA basketball preview show. We have Coach, I think his name is Solik from. I'll pull that up in a second. But we got a special guest coach, so we're running a 5-man weave on this, a 5-man setup. Then tomorrow night at 5 p.m. we have Drive Time with Matty Ice. Tomorrow at 7:45, we've got the Tuesday Night Flight where we get to recap the nickel and start you off with the JC college football top 10 and the top 5 list of college quarterbacks in our eyes as of right now. Hit you off Wednesday with In the Passenger Seat, 8 p.m. Thursday night, 7:15, we have the Thursday Night Throwdown. Friday we're off. Saturday we hit you 2 times, 11:30 a.m. with the Gridiron, the greatest fictitious college football show in the world, Craig.
In the
In the
world,
world,
Craig.
Craig. And at 9, I'm sorry, at 9 p.m. we got the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. And then we start you back Sunday morning with the Sunday Rise to get your week started right.
Like I said, man, hardest working man in podcast world. And I appreciate you taking the time out, man, to come join me on my show, man, and keep this thing rolling.
Oh yeah,
Make me feel important, part of the family.
nah, you are, man. You came in from day one, and I gotta give you that, man. You came in, you took a couple weeks, you did it by yourself. I just jumped in just so you had somebody to jump off of to talk to, like so that way you weren't doing it all yourself. Because I know what it's like to do a one-man show. So,
Right.
but I mean, you get the guests, you get the content. I mean, this is all you, man. I'm just a sidekick.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And hey, man, look, I mean, the comments keep us going, man. I love that my coaches, they check in, man, and they interact. I appreciate that. And we just have good conversation. That's all. We just here to talk and shine light to a couple rounds of the high school world, man, and that's it, man. So, but we can't do no overtime tonight, man. We got another show coming up in the passenger seat, so everybody check that out. And
It's on
continue to
YouTube.
check us out. Say again.
It's on the YouTube. So it's the NBA preview show starting at 8:05.
Yep, there you go. Starting at 8:05. And I'm sure you ain't gonna talk about my Wizards because it ain't nothing to talk about.
Actually,
So,
I am.
oh man, all right, I'm gonna have to
Now
check
listen, I got two guys I like for the Wizards this year. I'm a weirdo, man. I don't think they're gonna do a lot in the standings, but I think if these two guys have big years, the future could be real bright for them. But you'll get that at 8:05 in the NBA preview of the done by the Sideline Junkies. So you gotta turn it over to see what my answers are.
Got you. Well, I'm definitely gonna check into that so I can see who you're talking about.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to Coach Jay for checking in. He's part of that Montgomery County world, man, and he does the show with Coach Drip on Mondays night. So appreciate you checking in, Jay. And hey, man, we can't do no overtime tonight, so we out of here. Appreciate y'all, and see y'all next week for another good show.
All right, man. Do your thing, man.
All right, talk to you later, midnight.
All right.